Turn it up. You're listening to Live and Loud with the Lord, Nelson, that is.
Trials and tribulations, with faults I know you're following. Without hesitation, I'm the last in line. Everyone knows you're perfect, beauty with angel eyes. Like a clown you dance in circus, I see right through the disguise. But still I know you're mocking. So go ahead and try to mock me. Stand on your pedestal and look down on me. Extend your other branch just to shame me. Stand on your pedestal and tell me what to believe. I know you're trying, but you won't change me. Craving.
Ladies and gentlemen, and once again, you know who it is. It's the big guy with the big show, the Lord. Ha! Always got to give that effect. Nelson, that is. Yes, indeed. From Live and Loud with the Lord on the CMS network with 5 Royals Entertainment. And, you know, a lot of times when you get somebody who's almost as handsome with you, you know, that might make you feel a little uncomfortable. I know I still got him, but, you know, but it's a good thing. You know, he's got the beard going. He's going to have to name that beard right there. You know, it's got to have a name of its own, man. So it's all it's not a dad bod, it's a father figure. I like that. I like that.
You like that? My gym outfit.
So let me go ahead and, you know, and talk a little something about this young man right here in this band, man. So for this episode, we're diving into the world of a heavy and dynamic band that's pushing boundaries and making waves in the metal scene. Known for their emotionally charged lyrics and unique blend of heavy riffs and melodic elements, this band brings a raw energy that truly captivates audiences. This is an inside look at their creative process, the personal stories behind their music, and what drives them forward as a band. And whether you're a longtime fan or discovering them for the first time, get ready for an in-depth conversation that highlights their soul and intensity. And they get intense on that stage. They do work, man. Indeed, you see what's playing behind me. You know, I had to put it up there. You know, I had to put a little something up there. So without further ado, I bring to you lead singer Bobby Ruffin of Bear Within Us. Yeah. What's going on, bro?
Not bad, man. How you doing this morning?
And I'm doing well, man. It's all love. Thank you for being here. As I like to say, thank you for taking the time to spend some time with me. I really appreciate it, man. We're going to have a good conversation, man. So the first question I always like to ask is, where are you from, young man?
Well, where I'm from and where the band's from is a little different. I'm from Arkansas. So
Arkansas,
I got a little bit of an accent. So I try to hide it on stage. Doesn't always work. You get me fired up, you'll hear it a lot. The band is based out of Tampa, Florida. So we like the heat down here. We don't do winter too well. So
I understand it now. I got a lot of some family, you know, I'm a military kid, and so I've got some family members, you know, real good friends of mine. They're really family, but that, you know, live down in Tampa Bay. And so of course, yeah. They're family. I've known them forever. And then of course, you know, Chris Jericho's Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
There's a few more people I know, you know, I deal with that live down in Tampa, man. So Tampa's a good place, man. No doubt. So you're from Arkansas. My wife is from Mississippi. So,
all right.
So she's right there, Leland, Mississippi, Greenville, right there close. You know, we rode across the state line a time or two, you know, to go into Arkansas. I just went by and just picked up a rock just so I can say I've been to Arkansas.
Oh, okay. That's fair enough, you know.
Yeah. So when you say those accents, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah, if you ever wonder what I say, just nod and smile and say, yeah, that's just the best way to go about it. I'm from 13 minutes from the Louisiana line, so yeah, okay. I have a little bit of a mixed accent when I speak, and sometimes people tell me they don't know what the hell I say, but you know, they just smile and nod and just let me keep going. So I appreciate it.
It's all love. So being from Arkansas, what's the best thing about being from there?
Well, I think it was, I guess, nice for me because it was a small town. So, you know, it's kind of one of those everybody knows everybody.
Right.
And everybody back there is really supportive. So, you know, that's what helped me kind of figure out my joys of music is, you know, we didn't have a lot to do. So there wasn't a lot to really get into that was legal. So I had to find something that was allowed. So, you know, Arkansas is kind of what allowed me to figure out my joy and passion for music. So I guess that's one of the best sides of being there.
No doubt. Well, man, listen, I don't know if it was on HBO Showtime. I remember not talking bad stuff. I remember banging in Little Rock, man. What do you remember that?
What do you even remember? That still happens. Little Rock and Pine Bluff, Bubba. You stay strapped when you're over that way. Just
really?
In case.
So that's really it. Really?
Oh yeah. No, that's the spot.
Wow. Okay. So let's talk about how did Bear Within, you know, Bear Within us, how did you guys come together?
Well, so because I was from Arkansas, I moved down here, didn't know a soul. So basically I did what every aspiring musician does. I downloaded Craigslist. I went through ads with thousands of people I don't know, and I just started putting out feelers and you know, had random people meeting random people. And the thing about Bear Within us is none of us knew each other prior. So we were all people that just kind of met out of nowhere. Yeah, one of my guys at one point was from Philly. I had one from New York. I had one from overseas. I had one from Tallahassee. So basically, even now, I don't think any of our members were actually born in Tampa. So we're all kind of transplants. So
wow, indeed. Well, when you say that, I know when I was with Lord Nelson featuring Lies, the band Lies, who when I was with Stuck Mojo, we toured with them. It was the same situation. And I didn't know it until Sebastian told me. He was just like, no, we just all met online. And I was just like, what? You know, because I thought they were, you know, together tight, that knit. He was like, no, we met online and we just got together really. And I was just like, wow, man. I said, okay. So, I mean, but being able to do that kind of lets you know that, you know, the person, you're a go-getter, you know?
Oh, yeah.
And it's something that you wanted, you know, so no, that's love, man. I like that. I like that spirit, man. So what were the musical inspirations behind the band and what you really wanted to do?
So we're all actually like really into heavier style of music, but we're getting a little older, so we can't jump around on stage as much as we used to without pulling something. So we had to tone it down a little bit. So, you know, we kind of went from being, you know, fans of like Gojira and Periphery and playing styles like that to doing stuff that's more along the lines of like hard rock, new metal, alt metal style. So we kind of teeter in the realms of Godsmack or, you know, maybe like a Seether or, you know, maybe even a post Iowa Slipknot, you know, that's before, you know, when they kind of toned it down a little bit. So So basically, our inspirations are all over the place. Like, for example, if you sat down with my drummer, he'd tell you he loves Animals as leaders. And I'll turn around and tell you I like Nickelback. So, you know, it's everywhere. So it's a mesh.
But you can hear it, though. I mean, I think you guys have those great elements within your music. That's what makes it really good. And like when you said Seether, I was just hanging out with Corey and the guys, you know, a few weeks ago. They had a show in Charleston, and we just had a ball, man. I mean, just great guys, and, you know, met the 9 Point guys also. Listen, music is the greatest thing in the world, man. I can't say it enough. There's nothing better than music, man. It really is. So, that's love. That's love. So the name, Bear Within Us. I usually don't like to ask bands about their names because it's like, it's what it is, you know. I can feel it. This is a unique one. So tell me about it.
So I have part of a Nordic background.
Okay. I can see
it. Yeah. So basically in you know, animals and stuff were symbolized a lot in that time, and bears were considered kind of like I don't know if you've ever seen the imagery of a man in a bear pelt carrying two axes. They were considered berserkers. You know, they were considered berserkers, and basically, you know, berserkers were the ones who just like were the most aggressive, you know, had no fear of going to Valhalla. A lot of times they didn't even go into a war with even a shield. They just carried, you know, two axes and took out as many people as they could. So basically, Bear Within Us kind of loosely translates to the warrior within.
Okay, the
That's
word.
why our catch slogan is "Release the bear within."
Release the bear within. But then now you did say something about that everybody's a teddy bear on the inside. I did some of my research. What was he saying?
Yeah, so basically, it kind of boils down to the fact that that we play a lot of aggressive style music, but if you come down and hang out with us and talk to us, like we're not going to sit there, we're not going to pillage or raid you or take all your stuff from you.
Right.
We're all just teddy bears off the stage. On the stage, we're ready to go to war, and off the stage, we're going to be the nicest people you can meet. So
What's so wild about that, and which I love that you said that, is that I can remember after we were on a tour with Volbeat when I was with
Mhm.
Stuck Mojo, and at the end we were signing autographs and taking pictures and just talking, and there were some people over there just kind of looking at me. I'm a little bit down on the weight. I was 6'5", 300 pounds, and I'm over there, and there's this guy. I swear he's about 7 feet tall. I mean, he's a gigantic dude, and he's looking, and then there's two young ladies with him, and they're just pointing over at us. Then the next thing I know, he comes over, and he's just like, those two young ladies want to come over and talk to you. They want to just say hi and take a picture. I was like, of course. So they get over there and they start talking. They was like, we thought you were this because your eyes and what you do on stage. And then they were like,
Yeah.
you're the biggest teddy bear. I was like, we're just performing, Now this is just like you were saying, this is who we are. This is what we do. Up there, we're
Right.
entertaining. And now we're here. So, when reading that, seeing that, you saying that, man, that's love. I like that. I understand that very clearly. So do you think that the bear image, and do you think that transcends into the music? That, how is that relatable to your music?
Well, I mean, bears are protectors. And I mean, that's basically, a lot of our music, which we have a lot of it written, but we haven't put it down for recordings yet. We have 2 more songs we'll be releasing early next year.
Right.
A lot of our music is about, like relationships and hardships and, like fighting for what you believe in. And, that kind of translates to the bear, because that's basically what the bear does. It protects its own, it protects its family, and it's not afraid to back down from a challenge to do what it's got to do to stay alive. But our catch is every logo we put out with every song title typically has a different style of a teddy bear on it. Even our main logo is, yeah, even our main logo is a teddy bear holding a Dane axe and a shield. So
Right.
so we always try to incorporate that. And I mean, if the women like it, we love it. So they always like the little teddy bear on the shirt. So
Hey,
the
listen, you
men may
guys
not
got it.
enjoy wearing teddy bears as much, but they still rock it because they rock with us, and we appreciate that.
That's right. Hey, listen, you guys understand the plan. You understand what's going on. Indeed. So how does your creative process typically work? Do you collaborate as a group from start to finish, or do you do individual, and members bring their ideas to it?
Yeah, so what I like to do what I call the revolving door. So basically, so every member gets their input. I pretty much, as one member presents a song, other members are working on their own style of song, and they present it as a band, and we look at it and we dissect it and see what we can do with it. So basically, it's not that one person writes a song from start to finish. They'll write the concept of the song from start to finish. We'll come through and say what we like, what we don't like, what we think could be changed, and so on and so forth. So it's not tied down to you have your specific songwriters and then you just have the people who just play in their part. Everybody in the band, it is their band. So everybody has an opportunity to have their input to, and sometimes it comes along to people and they just don't have anything in the chamber yet. That's why it's called the revolving doors. We just cycle back around to them the next time around.
Right.
So we're not stuck in a writing blocks. Everybody's able to write freely.
I think that's a great thing, because when you allow people that freedom to create, and you're all creatives, and you're able to put your input in there, it adds to a better band vibe, and because it's not easy being in a band with all these different personalities and things like that, So I think that's a lovely, lovely thing.
Yeah, I know it's not easy being in a band with me. I get told all the time I'm the diva, and I'm like, I'm the singer. What do you think I'm gonna do? I'm gonna rant, rave, and throw a fit anytime I see something I don't like. So that's just me.
Well, and listen, man, you started this, you know where you want it to go, and you know what you want to do with it. So, man, no, I understand it. I understand it. So your lyrics often explore deep and intense emotions. So
Yes.
what life experiences or perspectives influence the lyrical themes in your songs?
So I try to do two styles. Basically, because music is a form of expression.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes, if a song is presented to me, I will listen to the song 10 times over and let the song speak to me and tell me what the song is about.
Love it.
Other times, if it is a song that I am forefronting and that I've written, it is about a life experience that I've gone through. Like the example, our latest release, Too Long, which I think is a match over 100,000 plays on Spotify, which we're very proud of that, was actually about a relationship that I had gone through, one that I spent many years in trying to make it work. I had a kid I was trying to balance out and doing everything I could, and the song was just basically about, we're one way when we're awake, we're another way, you get in the drink or something like that, and basically kind of brings out the truth. And it's basically about accepting a relationship that you shouldn't be in, although you may want it to work. It's just something you have to accept that sometimes after so long, compatibility is just not a thing, and that was a song that really hit close to the heart. And it was a song that was very tough to write. That's the hardest thing about being a lyricist is, when you write a song, especially if it's popular, you have to pretty much sing about that all the time, every set. Everybody wants to hear it.
Right.
So it's something you have to truly learn to get past on your own. Otherwise, it's just a demon you constantly present it to yourself day in and day out. So.
Well. I'm glad you're there. I was going to wait to talk about that a little bit. We're going to talk about it now since you went into it, man. That's what I'm talking about. So. Once again, well, this is Devil's Day right here playing now, right? I believe behind me, but Too Long. Let me just say, all of these are great. Let me say that visuals great. Who did the treatments for these videos, bro?
Well, fun fact about that one you're looking at there, we fired the company that recorded it.
Oh,
and
really?
we finished it on our own because basically they did 2 edits and we hated them both. And then they wanted to charge us for the third one after they basically made some edits the second time around that we didn't approve or say we want to change. And so it was just like a mess.
Mm-hmm.
And like basically we told them like, you shouldn't have done all this, go back to this. And they said, oh, well, this is the last edit you get, take it or leave it. Otherwise it's $150 per re-edit.
Wow.
So we fired him, and then we took all the clips and we edited that one ourselves. So that one we actually did.
Well, listen, great job.
The Down and Too Long was done by a local production company around here called Kill Devil Films. It is housed by Thomas Crane, who's also done videos for Queen's Rice, Saliva.
That sounds familiar. Kill Devil Films.
He does a great job. He shows up by himself, and you tell him what you want, and he nails it every time. And he's very affordable. I would definitely recommend him to anybody. We were lucky to stumble across him, and now moving forward, he'll be the only guy that shoots any of our videos.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. No, but listen. Okay, so now we're gonna roll back to Too Long. So, my brother, the visuals in there. Let's start. Who are the actors?
So that is, they call themselves Sistone Entertainment. That is Blake Weinreb and Jade Sith. You can find them both on Instagram. I'm actually had them tagged in the YouTube video in the bio, but they are actually friends that I have met along the way.
Yeah.
They do their own content. They cosplay. They do all that stuff. I mean, if you want to see more of Jade than what's in the video, she has content out there too. I mean, if you like Blake like that, he does that too. So that's when I told him I wanted a sexy scene, they was like, "We got you." They don't even worry. So they did.
Yes.
They did great. So
yes. So I'm like, when I'm looking at it, I'm just like, this is really. I'm very visual, super visual. To see that, I was just like, this is like a movie. This is like something you would see like this. This is like a sex scene in a movie, no doubt. I'm just like, they are handling business. I said, that is really good. They did a great job. Yes, indeed.
Well, I have one rule. So that video was actually shot in my house. I had one rule, and the rule was they could go as far as they wanted. They just couldn't have sex in my bed because I just bought the bed. I just bought the bed, and I haven't christened my bed yet. So I was like, you can't do it if I can't do it. So, and ironically, when Thomas Crane from Kill Devil actually sent me the first video edit, it was like there was a lot there, and we had to tone it back because I didn't want to get flagged for the video. But they did some stuff. Like if I have my personal side edits, there's a lot there. So
you could have had an X-ray.
Oh, I could have gotten banned from everything real quick. So it was If I'd have released the other video, I'd have a lot more views. I'd have a lot more people interested, I promise. But I had to leave it at a line somewhere, you know.
Oh, I got you, though, man. Great lyrics, great video, beautifully done. Yes, indeed. Great song. You're a wild boy, but I love it. Indeed. Okay, so hold on. I'll get myself together. Once again, just visually, just looking at things. And then it's back again. I mean, listen, just a great song, man. Truly a great song. So how would you describe the evolution of your sound over the years and what makes Bear Within Us distinct from other bands in the genre?
Evolution over the years, well, it's pretty simple. I listened to our old stuff. I think we sucked. So, I thought it was good at the time. I thought it was great at the time. When I listen to it now, I'm just like, why did we even think that was a good song to play?
Wow.
So I think our evolution of sound, we've really come into our own. We really kind of dove into it when we hit our first tour. It was like a 2-week tour. We toured with Scotty Austin, who's the singer of Save and Able, and we just was up with them and playing those shows day in and day out constantly. It really helped us really deep dive into what we wanted our sound to be.
Right.
So that's basically where our evolution really happened. Like we really synced up, and now every show is just 10 times better than we thought it'd ever be. But I think it's our mix between hard rock and alternative metal. So we play songs that we have big choruses that are very catchy. But we still like to implement a breakdown here and there in the songs as well. So, it still makes you kind of hit that groove feel when you want to bob your head a little bit.
Exactly. Exactly.
That section that you don't see coming that you're just like, ooh, yeah, I like that, and you'll come back and you'll replay that a couple times. So,
Yes, indeed. And you guys have great tension and release also. And I'm listening and I'm hearing, I guess, I hear some Alice in Chains. I hear Stone Temple Pilots. I hear just certain things, and I love melodies. So I'm just like, man, this is just love. This is love right here, man. I said, I'm enjoying this so much. I said, they're doing work, man. So yes, indeed. So you were talking about your performances, so live performances. So how do you approach your live shows? Is there a particular energy or message you want the audience to walk away with?
So I do it a couple ways. So I used to, before I got hurt, I was playing sports a lot. I played football, and basically that created a very competitive nature for me. And music is all love, but at the end of the day, I'm competitive. My goal is to pretty much give you a 5-star show on a 2-star budget. You know what I mean? So you can come out there and see a show for $20, and my goal is when you leave that you're still talking about us when you leave.
Awesome.
I want you to feel like you just got the most bang for your buck you ever got. So we have our own light show, we have a smoke show, we have all that, and we just want to bring intensity but still fun. I crack jokes on stage, I have fun. I'm not just like 5 fists to your face for 30 minutes to an hour, day in and day out. I interact with the crowd. My bass player, he'll deep dive off in the crowd. He'll jump off in there, and I mean, God bless him. He was in a motorcycle wreck right before our last tour, and basically a truck hit him at 45 miles an hour, slammed him into a wall. Wow. Yeah, it was so full in the hospitals that he was actually in the hallway for 4 days. Wow. Getting treated, and we left for tour in a month, and that man still made it a point to go to that tour. And we went everywhere from Philly to Texas, and he took it like a champ. Oh. And so, I mean, all around, we just got some troopers out there, man. It's just great.
Indeed. Well, I'm gonna go off the cuff a little bit from the questions I have. I got questions, but so your band members, okay? So each of your band members. So how many times has your lineup changed?
A lot.
A lot. Okay.
A lot. So basically, in a nutshell, what nobody really expects in music, everybody thinks that once you tour, you've made it, and really, the reality is once you start touring, that's when everything gets really expensive. Advertising is expensive, gas is expensive. Being the starting band or the band that opens, or we get the opportunity to play with these great people, but we're the ones who's getting the smallest amount of guarantee, or if we do get a little money, room and board's not covered, so we're sitting there and we have to plan to financially back a lot of this stuff on our own.
Indeed.
And basically what happens is as time progresses, people will just it's just not something that they can truly afford, or it's not what they thought it would be, or something like that. But as growth comes change, the fortunate side of that is as we grow and get better and more people like learn about us, when we do have to replace a member, it'll happen a lot more quickly, or it'll be somebody who knows like that's what they want to do, or they have experience doing it. Like most recently, I lost actually in the video of Too Long. You'll see both guitarists in that video. They're both gone.
Wow.
Yep, I lost one to a band that basically saw him, and he was just, I mean, Lugo, who's in the video right there, is just he's a phenomenal guitarist. He's a trooper, but he received an opportunity to play with another band, and right now they're touring in Canada. I mean, you know, like I'm bitter about it, but I mean,
you understand.
I can't knock the opportunity. Like the man's touring in Canada today, like you know.
Yeah.
And my other guy, unfortunately, he made some bad choices, and he ended up losing his job, losing his truck, and he had to step down because he just couldn't really afford to do that anymore.
Yes.
So, but we have another guy now. His name is Wolf, which, you know, little headbutt in there. So he's Wolf and we're Bears, but we make it work. But he's a trooper. He went on our tour. We went on a tour with Rehab recently, and you know he was on there for that, and he was a blast, man. He understands comment. He understands touring. You know, he got along great. Like Doyle from Rehab and him really hit it off. They know we want to run it back. The Lonely Ones really liked us, and you know, it was just a blast. You know, and we got to play with Scotty Austin again too. So you know, they invited us back out. So like Wolf fills the spot very well. So he does a great job. So even though we had to lose Lugo, which was unfortunate, we got a good replacement for him. So
when you have these, go ahead. I'm sorry.
But as far as the members that I've lost, I've probably gone through in this process, and this is the downside of finding random people you don't know on Craigslist and stuff, is, you know, like you're going to lose a lot, or you're going to meet people that just don't fit. Right. And I think I've probably gone through 10, 12 members.
So how much has the energy changed? Because when different members come, they bring different kind of energies, you know, different kind of playing, different kind of, even though you're still directing everything, that energy, you know, you got to look at it sometimes like, man, he might not do this like Lugo, or it might be like the Wolf is, woo, he's on another level with this here, you know?
Oh, yes. Like Wolf, I mean, he calls it wolfing out. So he'll I mean, I'll even stop sometimes when he's playing and be like, holy cow, like that's a lot. So, you know, but like, I don't stifle anybody's creativity. I'm not going to sit there on stage and tell you can't do that. Like, you know, like that stage is big enough for all of us. And if it's not, we all have wireless and we'll get off that stage and come sit with you in the crowd. Awesome. That's just the way it works. So I don't hinder anybody, but I mean, Wolf to Lugo is a prime example. I mean, Lugo had all the, like, he has really nice equipment. He was very technical. He does a great job. And even his background, and he was my background singer. So, you know, even our vocals had changed a little bit. Like Lugo is really good at cleans. Wolf is really good at screams. So, you know, like they both complement in a separate way. But like when we interview people and we like find our next person to find the spot, like we tell them what we're looking for and give them the option to like come on board with that or not.
Got you.
So yeah, while the dynamic does change, there is a threshold that we're expecting someone to be in, and we tell them what that is, and as long as they think they can stay in that threshold, like we'll make it work. I mean, but I'm never going to tell somebody like, well, you can't do this. Or, you know, if you want to Coyote Ugly and dance on the bar, I mean, more power to you. I mean, you got to take that up with the bar owner, not me. So you know, you do you, man.
He said Coyote Ugly. That's awesome. Well, the Wolf Coyote kind of close there.
I'm telling you.
What's been the biggest challenge you faced as a band, and how have you grown both musically and personally from it?
Biggest challenge for me, I guess that would depend on like what part of the path we've been on. Like biggest challenge in the beginning was just finding like the right pieces to the puzzle that initially would get this going, or the biggest challenge would be, you know, finding people who would give us the opportunity to come out and actually play and show what we can do.
Right.
Or, you know, as we got a little newer or got a little better and more efficient and started gaining a fan base, the biggest challenge was getting somebody to actually agree to pay us. So, you know, I think it really, I guess it's really a pretty broad question. If I had to say overall biggest challenge, I would say just, I mean, the cost of travel these days as a band is really what is really kind of the thorn in our side. So, I mean, we're heading up. We're playing with Texas Hippie Coalition next month, and we're going up to New York to play with them. We're doing a couple bike rallies up there.
Yeah.
And I think gas alone's over $1,000 for that trip, and that's not counting room and board, food, none of that stuff. So so if there's any sponsors out there,
those things you got to ask. This indeed, 100%.
So once we get past that, I mean, I think financial backing is just probably our biggest challenge today.
Right.
Where before, I mean, it used to be like finding our sound used to be like the hardest challenge, because you put 5 guys in a room with 5 different musical preferences, because I never wanted like 5 guys who liked the same thing, because then you get stuck in a rut. Like, one of the biggest things I don't like is, when you see a band play a song, you're like, that's a good song. And they play the next song, and it's kind of the same. And the next song is kind of the same. And you don't realize if you're still listening to a new song or a different song. So,
Right.
So I see that a lot, and it's always been one of my biggest pet peeves. So I wanted people who were just like so vast in their style. Like, like Scott, for example, he's a University of Tallahassee. He's a Florida State grad. He played orchestra and all that fun stuff. And, his musical style, because he's an Animals as Leaders fan, is a lot different than mine. And you'll hear it in his drumming sometimes. Sometimes people will say, oh, he just seems like he's doing too much. I'm like, I don't think so. I think what he does perfectly accents what I'm looking for, which is to give me that metal, that threshold that's just like, wow, these drum beats are like impressive. There's been a couple times I've told him, you just got to kind of, calm down a little bit, because, you can't get in the way of the singer. You know what I mean? So I told him, you got to calm down. I gotta have my spot somewhere. So, but, like, he's a sweetheart. But he's definitely my pretty boy of the band. He's clean shaven. He goes to the gym every day. Right. He doesn't have to have a dad bod shirt. He's jacked. So that's the reason why people like me in the band, because they can't see him. That's really what it is.
Listen, I always remember when I was with Stuck Mojo, my boy LSU Nails. I call him LSU. His name is Steve Underwood, but we had a big Steve and a little Steve. So I call him LSU, little Steve Underwood. But as we performed, I was always conscious of that, because I'm a big guy. So he's a really small guy, but he's one hell of a drummer. And I would always want to give him his time and kind of move over a little bit so he can do his thing, so he can shine, because he was really nice with it. But I understand what you're saying, but yet still, we are those guys.
Yeah.
Understand? As Rich told me, when quick little story. Here I am with touring with Ryan, and the Avengers those are my brothers, man. I tell you, man, I love those dudes, man. Those are my brothers, man. And Ryan and I, our birthday's on the same day. So our birthday's coming up here soon. Next week, as a matter of fact. That's my guy, though. So Rich was like, hey, man, I know you're out there doing things and you're hanging out with the people. He said, but if you get hurt or something happens to you, the tour's fucked, man. So he's just like, I need you just to be here. But, I'm just like, I'm vibing with the guys. This is my first time in Europe. And I'm like, these dudes are great. These dudes are great. They're from California. They're amazing. So we're having a great time. So, but, I understand, we're kind of important. Everybody's important.
No.
We're kind of like a big deal.
but I'm really important.
Yes, indeed, man. You're a wild dude, but I love it. I love it. So, can you give us a sneak peek into any upcoming projects or albums, and what can fans expect from your new material, if possible?
Yeah, so we're actually looking at getting ready to get into the studio and probably record about 6 or 8 new ones. Now, granted, with Spotify's algorithm and how all that fun stuff works in 2024, we'll have to release them one at a time, because that's just life. If anybody's in the Tampa region, we're going to be shooting a video, a Viking style video, actually, where it's going to be scripted. So a lot of times in videos, I write the scripts and everything. That's why everything looks like a story, because I write it out to be a story that needs to get across on paper.
Okay.
So so that video, I'm looking to have like 30 or 40 actors. I'll have to get like fake swords and axes and blood and all that fun stuff. And it's going to be a blast. And I'm sure Crane's going to love to shoot it for Kill Devil. So, so that one should probably be coming out probably middle of next year.
Okay.
Like I said, I'll probably be releasing the song beginning of next year as well. And then we'll be back in the studio. I can't confirm anything yet, but I know that Distilled is working on putting us with some tours that may be a USA tour.
Yes.
With a pretty notable band. I don't want to drop any names yet, just in case it doesn't fall through, because we haven't signed any contracts yet. So, you know, I don't want Ryan on my butt saying I said some things that I shouldn't, you know. Then I'll have to be, you know, bear within us formerly of Distilled instead of currently of Distilled. You know what I mean? So I haven't gotten clearance of what I can and cannot say. So
I got you. Know, it's all love. It's all love. So are we looking at an EP? We're looking at an album?
Well, I would like to. It really depends on how much we can really get into the studio. So I would like to do an album, just because we had received an opportunity. Well, I guess I could say this. We received an opportunity from somebody who worked with Sony before, and they wanted to distribute our album, but we didn't have an album. So, so because of that, you know, that was kind of our biggest knock. And they ever told us if we put out an album, we can come back and try again. Okay. So we want to shoot an album, but, you know, content is content. Content is king.
That's right.
So, you know, it'd be the trick of like recording enough music to put out an album while recording enough singles to keep everybody interested in what we're doing.
So are you guys going to like a big studio, or are you doing it, you know, you got your home studio? How are you guys doing that?
So last time, and we might do it again, we went with AVP Productions recorded by Stan Martell, and it is in Kingsland, Georgia, which is about 6 hours from us. He is most noted for a lot of times doing vocals and helping out people like Saliva and stuff like that. He's toured and done stuff like we got recommended him last year by a touring manager, and we think he did a great job. He's recorded the 3 songs that you hear behind you. So, you know, we think he does well. I mean, it's radio worthy. You know, we've been put on radio stations, so, you know, he does a good enough job and is affordable. But it really just depends on, we'll have to touch up with some people higher than us to see if they're okay with the production or if they want more. But none of us are efficient enough in the studio to record it ourselves. If we were, we'd have a lot more songs, I promise you.
Okay. No, listen, I understand very well. Indeed. So how do you hope your music impacts your listeners? Are there any fan and are there any fan interactions that you could talk about that has been just like amazing? You know, because sometimes it's just like, I know I've had some where it's just like, yo, they just, Lord Nelson, this was the greatest thing ever, you know? And so have you had those things? Yeah.
I've had my most fun interaction, and they recently sent me a picture, was I had a fan in Georgia, actually, in Kaysville, Georgia. We played at a bar called Toonies. And it was the last bar of the tour, and it was, you know, it was a blast. I mean, the people there were very friendly. We opened the show, and it was packed even though we opened it, you know. And this random fan come up to me, and they're in my inbox, you know, and I could literally send you the screenshot. Yeah. They walked up to me, you know, a little drunk, walked up to me, and they handed me a pen, and they said, "Write whatever you want on my arm. I'm gonna get it tattooed." And I was like, all right, I didn't really take it too serious, because, you know, that's not the first time I've heard that. And I wrote Drenger, which, you know, and Elder Futhark, basically, which is Old Norse language, means basically in a nutshell means badass. It means you're a badass. And she sent me a photo, and there it is. I don't know. I was like, awesome. Wrote right in. So I just wish I would have wrote it a little more neater, because she did it exactly how I wrote it. And so it looks a little drunkenly written, so I feel bad about that, but it's a great tattoo. And I think that's fun. I sign Taco Bell bags. I've had people come up to me, you know, and tell me, you know, my music is what they listen to in the gym, or, you know, like, because basically every song I write is basically a don't quit. You know, like, life's hard, you know, don't let nobody put you down, just don't quit. You know, like, because that's basically what I deal with all the time. You know, before, I guess, looking back on old videos now, when I first started, you know, I thought I sounded pretty good. I look at it now, I'm just like, ooh, no, you didn't. So, you know, but there would always be people that'd be like, oh, you just need to quit. You know, and if I would have, I never would have reached the stage of comfortability that I'm at now. I never would have, you know, pushed for the vocal lessons. If I'd have just listened to people or what they said, then I wouldn't be here talking to you today. And like, I never acted before, and, you know, so that was all new for me. But the thing is, just don't quit. Don't be afraid of something. Basically, don't let fear be the reason you fail, is basically the biggest message I want to get through to people. Like if you're going to fail because you try 1,000 times and you just don't get it, I mean, that's acceptable.
Right.
If you fail because you never took the first step, like I can't ever support you on that. Like, never be afraid to fail. We do it every day.
That's right, man.
I mean, if you wake up, you hit snooze on that alarm clock instead of getting up when that thing goes off, you failed. But guess what? When that next one hits, you're up. So you know what? Just don't quit.
That's right. Don't quit. No sucker shit here, man. We gonna do what we do. No, I love that, man. You were speaking quick thing. We're almost finished here, but quick thing. Being with Stuck Mojo, we had the same thing. Some people we signed, they put it on them. But one of the greatest things, and it's my brother, man. I've met so many great people on tour. And guy named Pierre, he's not a beautician. He does hair, and he actually does the hair of the lead singer of the Scorpions. And Pierre is one of the great guys. So the first time I went over, just cool. He and his wife Steffi, I mean, just cool, big Mojo fans. The next time we came over, he had my logo tattooed on his arm.
Nice.
And he looked at me and he said, I want to show you something. He said, I know you think I'm crazy. And I looked at him like, no, I don't think you're crazy. I said, that is one of the most amazing and humbling things that has ever happened to me. And I said, I can't thank you enough. I said, I don't even know what to say. I just know that it's one of the greatest things ever in life to me. And so, he and I, we still so cool. He's just one of the coolest dudes in the world, man. They call him every time he comes to the show, I'm bringing him on stage. I would bring him on stage. He's just my brother, man. So anyway, I feel you on that one. I really do. I really do. So what can we expect from Bear Within Us for the remainder of 2024?
Well, we'll probably be doing a couple of pop-up shows. Like you said, we're in the process now of, we think we have officially found our second guitarist.
Okay.
This tour we're doing with Texas Hippie, we're going to still be doing it as a 4-piece because we can make it work. Obviously, as musicians, you have to kind of learn to adapt.
Yes, indeed.
So we'll probably be spending the rest of the year getting our new guy trained up, getting him ready to take the stage in 2025, especially if things go through a distilled and we get this opportunity for this tour.
Right.
So we'll be fully ready to go on that. So basically we have this, like I said, October 9th, we leave for New York to go play with Texas Hippie Coalition.
Awesome.
Up in New York, and we're doing some bike rallies up there from Pennsylvania to New York to New Hampshire to New Jersey. So we're hitting those 4 states. And after that, we're going to kind of not really be in a hiatus because content won't allow me to be in a hiatus.
Right.
But we shouldn't be taking the stage much more for the rest of the year. So we're basically going to be in a reset period. Like 2024 has been rough for us just because of so many member changes and everything happening the way it did. It was unexpected and kind of was sudden. So 2024, I guess, is kind of our unintentional rebuild year. But last year we were saying 2024 was our year, and 2025 is our year.
Hey man, you got to keep going. I mean,
That's
can't
right.
stop. You got to keep moving. You got to keep handling business, and you guys are doing that, man. You got to keep striving to be the best that you can be, man. And hey, listen. All I know is that you guys have a great sound, great orchestration and musicianship. You're doing a great job. Are you? So when it comes to like the production, are you really directing all of that? Like, hey, I want this here. I want this here. This is how I hear this here. Are you the final word on it?
We do by committee.
Okay.
But if I say it doesn't work, then yeah, it gets changed. I mean, yes and no.
No, I'm saying at least, but because with all the changes, you are still you're the foundation. You're the the constant. You've been the constant. So I can understand.
So it's like, like honest answer or like professional answer? Which one?
Listen, here is all honesty, man. You can say whatever you want to say here with no fear, man. We're on the CMS network, man. Come on, man. Listen, the stuff that Chris said, the stuff, woo! You can say whatever you want to say here freely, my brother. Yes, indeed. So my last question for you is, what was the last song you listened to?
The last song I listened to? I believe it was Money Where Your Mouth Is by Lakeview.
by Lake Money where your mouth is by Lakeview.
By Lakeview.
All right.
I say I'm an Arkansas boy. I like a little country twang in my stuff every once in a while. And Lakeview puts that country that metal, and they mix it perfectly.
Yeah.
So if you haven't checked them out yet, I strongly recommend it. They're coming.
That's why I asked the question to everybody, because there's no telling what we as creatives, what we're listening to. I listen to everything. Just how I always say it. My wife and my kids, they look at me like, man, this man is crazy. But I don't care if I'm not a genre snob. So if it's hot, it's hot. That's all I care about. So it doesn't matter. So, if a Bear Within Us song comes on and it's the fire like too long, I'm listening to that. Either you guys are going to like it or you're not going to like it. I said, but you know what? I like great music. So you'll get it because I like great music.
Here's some insider information. If you would have had this conversation yesterday, it would have been Justin Timberlake. So,
That's right.
So timing is everything, brother. I'll give you that.
I feel you. With my brother, man, I really, really appreciate it. Great conversation. And last thing, the floor is yours, man. So let the people know where they can get in touch with you and see you guys and all those good things.
Yes, sir. It's been a pleasure. My name is Bobby. I'm the lead singer from Bear Within Us. This interview has been great. It's been one of the most enjoyable ones I've had so far. If you would like to catch us, you can find us out on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Spotify, YouTube. We're on all of it as of right now, because the last guy was Niche. I'm the person you will talk to if you want to reach out. So if you want to hit me up from there. Do not stalk me. I would appreciate it. So with that being said, I look forward to seeing you all in New York. We will see you guys very soon. We leave out on October 9th and kick it off in Pittsburgh, October 10th. So without further ado, it's been a pleasure. And Lord, I look forward to doing this again with you.
Hey, of course, man. Listen, I look forward to meeting you also, my brother. And listen, you guys know his last name is Ruffin, right? So David Ruffin from the Temptations, man. So it's just some singing thing, man. It's distant cousins down the way somewhere. So he's doing his thing. So yeah, it's all love, my brother. It's all love. So ladies and gentlemen, once again, it is yours truly, the big guy with the big show, the Lord Nelson, that is. Yes, indeed, for the podcast Live and Loud with the Lord on the CMS network with Five Royals Entertainment. With my special guest, one more time for the trifecta, my special guest, Bobby Ruffin of Bear Within Us. Yeah. My man, thank you so much, my brother. All right.
Yes, sir.